What is up, nation? Mr. Flame here, and welcome back to the Nerd Flame channel, where we ignite the hype for the biggest movies coming to the big screen. Today, we're diving headfirst into the world of Pixar, the studio that redefined animation and emotion. And we're talking about the sequels, reboots, and impossible remakes that are set to completely dominate the box office and our feelings starting next year. The speculation online has reached a fever pitch, blurring the lines between what's confirmed and what is pure, unadulterated fan desire. So grab your tissues and your theories, because we are about to break down the most anticipated animated returns from the house of the Luxo lamp that will absolutely break the internet. This video is all about the rumors, the whispers, and the officially announced projects that prove that the past is the future for blockbuster animation, setting the stage for a new generation of classics that will challenge everything we thought we knew about these beloved franchises. The one film that has absolutely everyone on social media talking and demanding more emotional complexity is Inside Out 3, a project that is already generating a seismic wave of expectation that few sequels ever reach. The genius of the first films was in personifying the abstract concepts that define us, and the rumor mill suggests this next chapter will tackle an even more volatile period in Riley's life, specifically navigating her early 20s and the chaotic transition from college into professional life, introducing a whole new slate of complex adult emotions. Imagine the core crew of joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust having to deal with the crushing weight of existential dread, crippling student debt anxiety, and maybe even a dash of full-blown ennui, which is a French word for soul-crushing boredom. The creative challenge here is immense, yet the possibilities for deeply resonant storytelling are even greater, promising a sophisticated narrative that moves beyond simple teenage angst and into the true complexities of adulthood. This is a sequel that doesn't just promise more of the same. It promises a natural, essential evolution of the character and the world, cementing its status as one of the most creatively ambitious animated projects on the horizon, one that will certainly require multiple viewings to fully process its emotional depth. The biggest speculation surrounding this third installment revolves heavily around the introduction of the new key emotions set to join the headquarters console, potentially overshadowing the dynamics established by the original 5 beloved personalities. Whispers from those allegedly close to the production suggest we might finally see figures like lust, apathy, or perhaps even a fully realized nostalgia take a permanent seat at the control panel, each bringing their own brand of chaos and control struggle to Riley's already tumultuous mind. The internal conflict could be driven by a power struggle between Joy, who is accustomed to leading, and a new, more jaded emotion that reflects the cynicism often associated with entering the real world, forcing the original crew to adapt or risk being completely marginalized. Furthermore, there's a massive fan theory circulating that the movie will finally explore the emotional headquarters of a secondary character, perhaps a potential love interest or a new coworker, providing a parallel storyline that offers a different perspective on mental health and the inner turmoil of someone else's mind. This narrative expansion would not only freshen up the formula, but also allow the filmmakers to explore a broader spectrum of human experience, doubling down on the powerful, universal themes that made the franchise so popular in the first place. Another hot topic among the online community is the potential visual evolution of the emotions and the mind world itself, with many fans hoping for a more abstract and visually challenging representation of adult consciousness. The architecture of the mind, which was so colorful and defined in the previous films, could be shown as more fragmented, cluttered, or even dilapidated, reflecting the stress and the accumulated psychological baggage of a person dealing with major life responsibilities and career pressures. There are strong rumors that the memory vaults, which played such a pivotal role, will feature an entire section dedicated to archived trauma or repressed fears, creating a literal minefield for the core emotions as they try to navigate Riley's increasingly complex psychological landscape. The artistic choice to make the setting itself a reflection of Riley's mental state would be a phenomenal touch, allowing the visual language of the film to carry as much emotional weight as the dialogue, an expected staple of the studio's best work. The design team has a golden opportunity to push the boundaries of CGI animation by creating landscapes that are both beautiful and terrifying, capturing the overwhelming feeling of adult anxiety in a uniquely Pixar way that will look stunning on the massive IMAX screens. The true core of the hype, however, remains rooted in the deep-seated fear of Riley losing her core sense of self, a theme that has underpinned the entire trilogy and is expected to reach its dramatic peak in Inside Out 3. As she grows and faces more mature challenges, the risk is that the original, pure memories and the islands of personality that define her will be permanently altered or even dismantled by the newer, more powerful emotional forces at play, fundamentally changing who she is. Fans are desperately hoping for a resolution that doesn't just show the emotions learning to coexist, but actually demonstrates a harmonious, if messy, balance between the old, youthful self and the new, evolving adult self, reinforcing the message that growth is messy but necessary. The screenplay is allegedly focusing on the concept of self-acceptance over self-improvement, suggesting a more nuanced and less goal-oriented conclusion than a typical Hollywood movie, focusing on authenticity. The studio is walking a tightrope, knowing that they must satisfy the emotional investment of the millions who grew up with Riley, while simultaneously delivering a fresh, meaningful story for a new audience who may be going through their own parallel life struggles, making this one of the most scrutinized animated projects in history. The final piece of speculation, and perhaps the most exciting for animation aficionados, is the potential for a stylistic deviation or a major director change that could inject a completely different visual energy into the franchise's established aesthetic. While the original team is largely expected to return, there are persistent, yet unconfirmed, reports that a high-profile, non-traditional animation director has been brought in as a creative consultant to explore ways to integrate different mediums into the film's dream sequences and abstract thought processes. Imagine moments of beautiful hand-drawn animation or even stop motion used to visualize the most potent or fleeting of Riley's memories, creating a stunning visual contrast that would elevate the entire production into something truly groundbreaking and unforgettable. This level of artistic risk is exactly what the audience craves from a studio of this caliber, showing that they are not afraid to experiment with form while maintaining the heartfelt substance that defines their brand. The anticipation for the first teaser trailer is monumental, as fans eagerly await a glimpse into the new emotional architecture, confirming whether the rumors of visual innovation and character expansion are indeed true, promising a cinematic experience that will undoubtedly redefine the landscape of animated sequels. Another sequel that has the entire animation world vibrating with electric anticipation and a healthy dose of skepticism is the recently confirmed Toy Story 5, which has already sparked a massive, global debate about whether the story truly needs another chapter or if it's an attempt to simply recapture past glories. The last installment seemed like the definitive, perfect final word on Woody and Buzz's journey, offering a tearful, satisfying conclusion that few franchises ever achieve, yet the news of a continuation has energized the fan base with possibilities, while simultaneously raising the stakes to an almost impossible height for the creative team to clear. The prevailing rumor is that this film will serve as a soft reboot of the core premise, introducing a completely new child character and a new set of toys, allowing Woody and Buzz to serve as veteran mentors rather than the central figures of the ensemble, a necessary step to keep the narrative fresh. The biggest challenge for the filmmakers will be justifying the emotional reason for the story's continuation without cheapening the powerful farewells that were so painstakingly established. A delicate narrative tightrope walk that demands the utmost respect for the original film's emotional canon. The chatter around the plot details is relentless, with the most persistent rumor suggesting that the film will directly address the concept of the digital toy, moving the franchise into the 21st century by introducing a character that is an app, a video game avatar, or maybe even an augmented reality companion. This shift would provide a rich, complex thematic layer to explore the meaning of play, friendship, and existence in an increasingly virtual world, forcing the classic, physical toys to confront their own obsolescence in a world dominated by screens. A truly poignant meta-commentary on the state of technology. There is also a strong fan theory that the story will involve a rescue mission back to Andy's original home, possibly hinting at a final, emotional meeting with the now fully grown former owner, a moment fans have been dreaming of for years, promising a powerful closure to the initial trilogy's narrative arc. The potential for introducing new, visually dynamic characters that represent current digital trends is enormous, but the creative team must ensure they maintain the analog, tactile heart that has always made the franchise so universally appealing. The successful navigation of this thematic duality, merging the nostalgic past with the digital future, is key to the sequel's success and the main source of the intense speculation flooding the forums. A major point of fan speculation focuses on the inevitable return of Bo Peep and the potential for her storyline to integrate more directly with the core group, given her evolution into a true free toy who operates outside the traditional rules of ownership. Rumors suggest that she might lead an underground network of lost toys who are actively working to liberate or rehome toys that have been discarded or forgotten, giving her a vital, active role in the new film's central conflict, rather than just a romantic subplot. Furthermore, the return of classic, beloved side characters like Rex, Ham, and Slinky is a non-negotiable expectation for the fanbase, and the filmmakers are allegedly giving them significantly more screen time and individual character arcs, ensuring the sequel feels like a true ensemble piece. The most exciting and unconfirmed casting rumor suggests that a major A-list comedian is being eyed for the role of a completely broken, extremely rare vintage toy, adding a new, cynical antagonist that challenges the group's inherent optimism. This careful balancing act of introducing new blood while honoring the legacy characters is a huge part of the sequel's marketing strategy, and the reason why every minor piece of information is immediately dissected by millions of eager viewers online. The visual component of this latest installment is also a massive topic of discussion, with the animation community hoping to see the studio truly push the photorealistic boundaries of computer-generated environments and textures, particularly in the rendering of fabrics, plastics, and wood grain. Fans are betting on a stunning opening sequence that showcases the tactile beauty of the toys in a highly detailed, real-world setting, a signature element of the studio's technical prowess, demonstrating how far the technology has advanced since the first 4 films were released. There are also whispers that the film will utilize a new, proprietary lighting system that gives the toys an even more luminous and vibrant appearance, almost hyperreal, making them pop against the potentially gritty or mundane real-world locations that the plot is rumored to explore. The art direction is reportedly leaning into a more cinematic, almost thriller-like aesthetic for the sequences where the toys are in peril, contrasting sharply with the familiar warm, cozy visuals of the previous films, a tonal shift that could surprise many longtime fans. The overall expectation is that the film will not only deliver an emotionally satisfying story, but also serve as a spectacular technical showcase for the current capabilities of one of the world's premier animation houses, ensuring every frame is a feast for the eyes and a testament to the art form. Ultimately, the reason Toy Story 5 is generating this level of immense, almost overwhelming anticipation is the potential for it to deliver one last, truly emotional gut punch that validates the entire series as one of the greatest cinematic achievements of all time. The fans don't just want a good sequel. They want a film that changes their understanding of the previous four, adding necessary context and depth to Woody's journey, perhaps finally revealing the identity of his original, forgotten owner before Andy, a detail that has been debated for decades. The entire film is rumored to hinge on a single, massive emotional decision that Woody must make, one that impacts the future of every toy he knows, bringing his entire narrative arc to a heroic, sacrificial conclusion, which is the kind of high-stakes drama the series thrives on. This isn't just a movie about toys. It's a deep dive into the nature of purpose, love, and letting go, and the sheer weight of expectation is that the creative team will somehow find a way to make us all cry harder than we ever have before, cementing the franchise's legacy. This single film has the potential to be a cultural moment, a true event that brings generations of viewers together for one last, meaningful goodbye to a group of friends who taught us all the true meaning of forever. Now, let's talk pure, unadulterated fan demand and an absolutely massive online movement that is screaming for a continuation of one of the most beloved and creatively unique worlds ever put to film, Monsters Incorporated 4. While this sequel is currently sitting firmly in the realm of highly persistent rumors and fan-made trailers, the momentum behind it is so powerful that it feels more like an inevitability than a pipe dream, demonstrating the enduring power of the relationship between Sully and Boo that captured the hearts of millions. The speculation is that the next chapter will skip ahead a decade or more, focusing on a teenage Boo who has somehow found a way to bridge the dimensional gap herself, possibly having retained a mysterious, residual energy from her time in the monster world that allows her to manipulate the closet doors. This narrative direction would flip the script entirely, presenting Sully and Mike with the terrifying reality that their human friend is now a fully grown young woman who is actively pursuing them, shifting the dynamic from a simple rescue mission to a complex, emotional reunion and a desperate attempt to protect her from the dangers of the monster world. The rumors surrounding the core conflict of this fictional sequel are incredibly compelling, suggesting a major threat to the entire Monster Incorporated operation will emerge from a secret government entity in the human world that has finally caught on to the existence of the door technology. Imagine a tense, cinematic plot where Mike and Sully must try to prevent the human world from exploiting the laugh floor's energy source, leading to a massive, action-packed confrontation that spans both dimensions and features both human and monster agents. A major escalation in scope. Another major talking point is the potential for a new energy crisis in the monster world, forcing Sully to reluctantly return to the old, frightening methods of energy collection, creating a deeply ethical dilemma that challenges the very foundation of his leadership and the revolutionary laughter-based system he helped establish. The script would be a masterclass in blending high-stakes action with the personal, emotional drama of Sully and Boo's relationship, ensuring the core of the story remains rooted in heart, even as the world around them descends into interdimensional chaos. This is the kind of sequel that has the power to not only entertain, but also to make a profound statement about resource management and the ethics of energy consumption. The most exciting fan speculation centers around the visual design of the new world and the potential for a deeper dive into the monster hierarchy and the mysterious realms beyond the doors we've already seen, opening up a universe of creative possibilities. Many fans are hoping the film will introduce a more menacing class of monsters, perhaps creatures that were deemed too dangerous or powerful even for the initial scaring program, who are now emerging from a different dimension to cause havoc in the newly peaceful Monster City, providing a truly formidable physical threat. There are also persistent, although unfounded, reports that the film's opening sequence will feature a complex, Ratatouille-style montage that quickly summarizes Sully's successful tenure as CEO, showing the incredible positive impact his leadership has had on the entire monster society and the visual prosperity that has followed. The visual effects team would have a field day designing a fully realized, technologically advanced monster city that has evolved beyond the previous film's industrial-era aesthetic, featuring towering, futuristic skyscrapers and completely redesigned, more efficient laugh floors, showcasing a world that has embraced the success of Sully's vision. A major focus of the online discourse is the long-awaited payoff of Boo's presence in Sully's life, with many fans hoping the film will finally confirm the theory that she eventually becomes a monster herself, or at least a powerful, interdimensional anomaly capable of moving between the worlds at will. This narrative choice would provide a stunning, emotional conclusion to their relationship, showing that their bond transcends species and dimension, reinforcing the film's core message that love is more powerful than fear, and that family is not defined by biology. The rumor is that the climax of the film will take place not in the familiar factory, but in a neutral interdimensional space, a void between the closets that acts as a nexus point for all the doors, forcing the characters to use their wits and their emotional bond to escape, a truly mind-bending visual spectacle. The film is essentially rumored to be a love letter to the power of imagination, and the idea that some bonds are so strong that they can literally break the laws of physics, a concept that is universally appealing and emotionally resonant for every single person who grew up watching the original masterpiece. Finally, the simple truth behind the incredible hype for a fourth installment is the desire to see Mike Wazowski finally get the recognition he deserves. A running gag that the filmmakers could easily pay off with a significant, hilarious promotion that validates his status as the most loyal and resourceful sidekick in cinema history. The film is rumored to feature a sequence where Mike is forced to go undercover in the human world for an extended period, leading to a classic fish-out-of-water scenario that generates the majority of the sequel's comedic moments, showcasing his character's comedic range and brilliant physical acting. The main takeaway for fans is the simple, emotional fact that they desperately want to see the beloved trio, Sully, Mike, and the now-teenaged Boo, reunited for one final, deeply moving adventure that honors the legacy of the original and closes this beautiful chapter of animated storytelling forever. The moment the studio officially announces this project, the internet will collectively explode, proving that the love for the little girl who said Kitty is one of the most powerful forces in all of modern pop culture, and that sometimes the fans know exactly what the creative landscape needs next. And there you have it, nation. A deep speculative dive into the absolutely massive tidal wave of Pixar sequels, reboots, and the fan-fueled projects that will undoubtedly shape the animation conversation for the next decade and beyond. Whether it's the existential drama of Inside Out 3, the high-stakes, legacy-defining return of Toy Story 5, or the impossible, desperately desired reunion of Monsters, Incorporated 4, the one thing that remains crystal clear is the unparalleled emotional power of these classic stories and the studios that create them. The hype machine is fully engaged, fueled by the relentless passion of millions of fans who simply want to see their childhood friends one last time, making every whisper of a sequel a genuine cultural event that transcends the simple act of going to the movies. Now, nation, I want to hear your thoughts. Which of these Pixar returns has you the most hyped, and what impossible sequel do you need to see the studio announce next? Drop a comment below with your theories and predictions, smash that like button, and be sure to subscribe to Nerd Flame so you don't miss any more videos igniting the hype.
I didn't know this was even possible. I learned how to make money online. The link is right below in the first pinned comment.